Hi, today I'm going to tell you about the movie Barbie. After returning from a trip, the ideologically savvy doll organizes a revolution in her native country. The movie begins with a brief history. Once upon a time, little girls had dolls, but these dolls were in the form of babies to nurture their maternal instincts. But then Barbie appeared, with a satisfied smile. She pushes girls on the destructive path of renunciation of former amusements. Instead, Barbie offers a wide assortment of herself in various images, implying that her example will inspire girls to various accomplishments in the real world. The prototype doll herself resides in a fabulous Barbie land. A stereotypical Barbie starts her typical day with a wide smile, greeting her equally happy neighbors, who are also Barbies. After changing her clothes, she goes to do the usual, everyday things, among which, by a strange coincidence, there is no housework. After breakfast, Barbie goes to attend important events where she sees different Barbies. After doing the obligatory program, she goes to the beach, where her friend, the beach Ken, bursts into the narrative. Among a variety of other Kens, there is even one Alan, purely for variety. Trying to get Barbie's attention with the wonders of surfing, Beach Ken springs from the waves of the ocean, as fake as the smiles of the dolls that surround him. The incident attracts the attention of the other Kens, which almost turns into a puppet fight. But it's all over. An ambulance arrives and takes Ken away for tests to make sure he's okay. The evening ends with a party at a nightclub, where Barbie dances to the delight of the Ken and Alon, who moves awkwardly to the beat of the music. Soon, the dancing atmosphere is joined by everyone present. The fun is interrupted in an instant when Barbie suddenly asks if anyone else has thought about death. Everyone freezes, but not for long. Barbie quickly apologizes. After the dance, Ken walks Barbie home, hoping for a kiss, but his friend affectionately and politely marks the boundaries of friendship for him. As she lies in bed, however, thoughts of fatalism and the futility of all things come over her again. The next morning for Barbie begins, no longer so carefree and happy. Her face bears the stamp of a normal person forced to get ready for work on Monday morning. Even an imaginary breakfast triggers the doll's gag reflexes. A series of mishaps leads to a fall on the beach, where her feet suddenly change shape. They become normal instead of elongated, shaped like high heels. Her sympathetic girlfriends advise her to turn to strange Barbie, once the most beautiful doll mistreated in the real world, but now, the only one who can help other Barbies become perfect. And she also has a pooping dog. Strange Barbie asks what caused her mood change, and after hearing about her thoughts of death, she suggests that she leave Barbie land and go to the real world while her transformation is still in progress. There, Barbie must find the girl who is playing her, as their personalities are too closely intertwined. Equipping Barbie for the journey, the strange Barbie advises her to choose comfortable shoes instead of beautiful ones, because she has no choice, only the illusion of it. After showing the place on the map, strange Barbie escorts her guest on her way. At home, the protagonist throws a party before the trip. Beach Ken brags to the other Kens that his girlfriend begged him to go with her, but he refused, but no one believes him. Rushing down the highway toward the unknown, Barbie suddenly learns that Ken is hiding in the trunk. Barbie lets her friend accompany her on her dangerous journey, and after a few montages, they suddenly find themselves in the real world, where the colors are much duller than in Barbie land and the people are not overtly friendly. Ordinary people stare at Barbie, which makes her feel self-conscious. She lacks a boost of positive female energy, while Ken sees that men are not relegated to a secondary role here, and on the contrary, cheers up. The walk on the beach is interrupted by some joker who slaps Barbie on the ass, and immediately gets a direct punch in the nose, after which the travelers end up at the police station. After changing clothes, Barbie and Ken don't pay for their costumes, and then they fall into the hands of justice again. Barbie then thinks about how to find the right girl for her. Ken goes for a walk alone, wandering through the real world. he sees that men here have a higher status than in Barbieland. They can be presidents, stars, and executives. Barbie, meanwhile, is meditating, trying to figure out what kind of girl is playing her. Before her inner gaze flashes the memories of her mistress, from her childhood years to her teenage rebellion. The inner pain of being a teenager is transmitted to her, making her cry for the first time in her. Ken returns, and they share their discoveries with each other. She knows the girl is in school, and he is aware that men rule the world. Meanwhile, at Mattel, a supervisor reports that one Barbie is rollerblading on the beach with Ken. A mid-level manager orders that the brand representatives be brought in for a forced dialogue. The petty interns in the corporate dress code, who look like faceless Kens, are worried, while one of them, Aaron, is sent to see the boss. Despite an important meeting, he walks past Gloria's secretary to report to the management the incident that happened. This news makes the company director faint. To prevent a potential disaster from mixing the two worlds, the director orders the fugitives back to Barbieland, unaware that Gloria is eavesdropping outside the door. Meanwhile, Barbie and Ken come to the school to find the doll's owner, who turns out to be a girl named Sasha, who has a reputation as a bully among the outcast girls. Barbie's manner of communication does not resonate with the hearts of teenagers. The girls morally humiliate her for imposing unattainable standards of beauty, consumer culture, and feminism. After the mockery, Barbie runs away in tears, while Ken steals history books from the library to understand the true place of men in society. He questions the locals about the world order, getting the idea of patriarchy. Back at school, he sees Barbie being taken away by Mattel employees, but instead of helping her, he plans to return to Barbieland and rebel against the established order. Sasha's mother Gloria arrives at the school. They watch Barbie being taken away by a black car. The woman runs after her, but her colleagues have already driven away. Barbie is taken to the CEO of the company, where they want to put her in a giant package to return her to her habitat. As she leaves, she wonders where all the women in leadership positions are, and at the last moment she jumps out of the box to powder her nose. Barbie goes on the run, forcing the men to chase after the beautiful girl like in the old days. After breaking away from her pursuers, she finds herself in a long corridor that leads to the kitchen, where an old woman sits at the table. She treats Barbie to tea, seeing her awkwardness in terms of eating. The woman notices that Barbie is changed. The old woman shows the guest an emergency exit, through which the girl escapes. Gloria and her daughter meet her outside and help her escape, leaving the men with nothing. However, they do not give up and pursue the fugitives in cars. During the chase, Gloria admits that she was the one who played with her daughter's dolls, her identity crisis affecting Barbie and forcing her to go on a trip. After evading the chase, Barbie suggests going to the beach and going to Barbieland, which her new friend happily agrees to, despite her daughter's skeptical look. The all-female posse sneaks off, via montage splices, to the land of perfect dolls from a matriarchy in a vacuum. But the return turns out to be a little different than Barbie expected. There's been a change in her world. The Kens are no longer part of the scenery, but active participants. While the rest of Barbie serves them beer, she doesn't yet know that all the small changes add up to one big puzzle. Beach Ken, back from the real world, has been spreading among his comrades the ideas of patriarchy. In the real world, the director and the head of the company are ready to go to Barbieland to fix everything and take the living people out of Barbieland. Since their presence, there will also have disastrous consequences. The sales department cheerfully reports that the new Ken with the party house is breaking all sales records, but even the prospect of exorbitant profits doesn't stop the director. He needs to set things right. Even the Barbies themselves in Barbieland aren't too opposed to the change, happy with their new social roles. However, Barbie is against imitating reality, which she informs Beach Ken. But the latter, having tasted patriarchy, is not about to give up his dominance. He has already conducted a political campaign to change the Constitution, government and laws of Barbieland, which will soon become Kendom. Barbie runs away and tears from her own home occupied by her ex-buddy, and the latter throws her stuff out. Gloria tries to comfort her, but the latter blames her for this change. If it wasn't for their soul connection, she would have remained the perfect Barbie. She is depressed, which translates in the real world into commercials for non-ideal dolls. Strange Barbie shows up to bring the protagonist to her senses. Gloria and her daughter, unable to help in any way, get in the auto and drive back to reality. When the radio switches to Ken's favorite songs, they learn that Alan is hiding in the trunk. He too wants to escape before the Kens figure out how to build a horizontal border wall. Alan fights with the crowd of construction workers, and at that moment, mother and daughter argue about whether to go back and help Barbie throw off the oppression of the patriarchy. In the house of strange Barbie, Gloria finds a pile of old dolls, long removed from the sale for various reasons, as well as a badly feeling Barbie, to support her real woman, talks about the contradictions in the requirements that modern society puts forward to women. After a heartfelt conversation, Barbie's outcasts are taken to task for planning an operation to overthrow Ken's regime. One by one, the Barbies kidnap their girlfriends, zombified by the manly Kens. Gloria convinces those back by setting the psychological settings to the right default settings. Everything goes according to plan, moving towards the final part, pitting the Kens against each other using competition. Gloria brings Barbie back to normal to send her up to Beach Ken. Using feminine charms, guile, and deceit, she carefully manipulates his fragile male ego. Since for the manipulation, the doll's anatomy has no other body organs, they head out for a romantic evening. On the beach, where exactly the same, all other couples have gathered, but it is only a trick of the collective female mind, continuing to introduce confusion into the male minds, with the help of jealousy. Then, the Kens, divided into two opposing camps, sit around wondering what to do next, and decide to start a puppet war. In the morning, a brutal puppet battle unfolds on a sandy beach in a fake ocean. Two of the most courageous Ken converge in a decisive confrontation, which turns out to be a dance-off, far from the heights of Michael Jackson. But the whole event turns out to be a trivial distraction. While the men shake their hormones, the women vote to keep Barbieland as it is. The defeat brings Beach Ken to tears. He hides in the house, where Barbie finds him to comfort him. He admits that without her, he is just a nobody, because he is so useless, invented by the creators. However, Barbie changes his mind by telling him that they are self-sufficient on their own, the revitalized plastic product being caught by the Mattel management for this endeavor. The director, sympathizing with their dialogues, proposes a joint effort to remedy the situation by creating comfortable conditions for all, including a little power for Ken and Barbieland. To these slogans, Gloria proposes that the principal create an ordinary, non-ideal Barbie to represent just grown-up girls. Her daughter Sasha joins the discussion, wanting to free Barbie from her imposed boyfriend, followed by the old lady who saved Barbie in the real world. She turns out to be the ghost of Ruth Handler, Barbie's creator. She offers the stereotypical Barbie a walk, and the rest of Barbieland waves goodbye. The creator takes Barbie out into a misty pink setting, where she confesses that the doll's real name is Barbara Handler. She named her after her daughter, and Barbie can become human if she wants to. Since no one has the power to tell a woman to do something against her will, neither common sense, nor biology, nor the laws of physics. Later in the real world, Gloria and Sasha take Barbie to her first gynecological exam. She became a real woman, taking the name Barbara Handler. This is where the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Write comments how you like this movie. You can check out my other series, the clips of which you are now seeing on your screen. Subscribe to the channel and see you guys.